Hey friends, it's Diana here from Grand Podcasters, and I am live today. I'm so thrilled to have Jan Ditchfield with me. We're going to talk a little bit about her presentation tomorrow for Grand Podcasters. And just in case you don't know what Grand Podcasters is all about, Grand Podcasters is kind of like a branch or a breakout group of Brand Connections. And Brand Connections is all about what they call edutainment. So educational connection and all that good thing. So in the podcasting group, we get together to collaborate. We get together to learn from each other. We even find guests for each other. So tomorrow, which is our regularly scheduled programming kind of thing, we have a session every month. It is the second Tuesday at 12 noon, and the registration button is right down there below. And so tomorrow, Jan is going to join us, and she's going to talk about 2 game-changing strategies that have the power to transform a podcast from a passion project to a lucrative venture. And Jan, you and I know each other a little bit, and we talk the same language. We talk about profit. And so I'm so thrilled to have you on board for this. So welcome aboard.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to being here, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk about money any chance I get to talk about it. So it's fine.
Money and podcasting. So
yes,
you have a podcast.
I do. Yes. Yeah. My podcast is called No BS Business School, and I release 2 episodes a week. And it's really the most fluff-free business advice that you can find out there. So I think that's why we like each other so much, Diana.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you do 2 podcast episodes a week. Whoa.
I do.
Yeah. I do 1 a week, and that's sometimes a challenge. But you know, as business owners, I think one of the things that we have to be conscious about is our effort, whatever it is for marketing, whether it's email, whether it's out there on social media, are our efforts translating into money, right? Because it's great to have passion projects, and that's okay. But I don't know about you, but I'm in business to make money, because money pays the mortgage, and money pays for the trips, and money pays for lots of really cool things. How do you see your podcast?
My podcast is the most important part of all of my channels. So when I look at my marketing strategy, everything starts with my podcast for everything I do. And it took me a while, I'll be honest, to get it humming the way I wanted it to hum. But it now is like a direct funnel line into my business. So when everything I think about doing on it is always related to how is this actually lining up with my sales cycles. And so I'm not just creating content for the sake of creating content, but I've been very strategic about the type of content I'm making. How is that actually going to align to bring the right people into my world, to move them through the process of deciding whether I'm the right person for them to work with or not? So it's the most important thing.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption, but I think that's something that people, they don't tweak, that their podcast should line, or could certainly, and has the power to drive people to their programs and products or services, right?
Yes. Yeah, it does. And I think, again, when we look at where our podcast should sit within our overall funnels, that is where we start to see the alignment happen. Because most of the time, I think we've created podcasts because we got told we had to. You need to have a blog, or you need to have a podcast, you need to have a YouTube channel. And we all just say, okay, and we make it. But we never really understand the why behind the making of it and how it should align to, again, sales cycles.
Yeah. And so you're actually in the middle of, or tomorrow you will be launching. And so just give us a little high level overview about how your podcast aligns with your launch that you're having tomorrow.
Yeah, so I spent the first 3 weeks of content focused on trying to drive people into a free training that I'm offering, and so the content I would release then really is focusing on trying to build awareness about the problem that I'm addressing within my training, having people helping them to make a decision of whether this is the right place for them to be or not, really addressing the problem that I know they're experiencing so that I can talk again about I'm solving this inside of the boot camp that I'm running. But then the content that I'll be releasing while I'm actually in that sales cycle all aligns to what I'm teaching, but directly related to what I'll be selling at the end of it. So
Right.
everything again is that layering effect of how can I create awareness? How can I get people to start gaining interest in what I'm talking about? And then helping them to make a decision of whether this is the right offer for them or not.
Right. And if you're the right person to deliver that offer.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
So tomorrow, in Grand Podcasters, you're going to give us. Are you going to give us like the step by steps how to do this, or just kind of give them a little teaser?
So I'm going to be talking about two strategies that I use off of my podcast, and there are strategies that I recommend everybody look at using, which directly have to do with aligning your podcast content to your sales funnel. So I'll be talking about one strategy that is basically using a 5-day content plan to drive people into your offer, and another strategy which is actually creating a second podcast offer where you have something that's evergreen and is a set and forget that runs in place of webinars. So if you are somebody who's like, I'm done to death of doing the webinar thing, I'm going to teach you the same type of idea, but using it off of a podcast instead, which works better because of the SEO strategies that are associated with it.
Ooh, I'm really keen to hear about that because I have been, after working with you, aligning my content with my sales cycle. But the second strategy, I'm really keen to hear you talk about because I think it has super, super value for people who are podcasters. And it's not just value, but it's, getting their head into thinking a different way about their podcast. I think that's the crucial part.
Yeah, I think definitely it is. And it's always that way. I think again, when we create something like a podcast, there's also it tends to be a love affair with the content that we create. And there is passion that has to go behind it because it's a lot of work to put a show out weekly. Two a week is even more work sometimes. I used to do 3 a week and I had to dial back because I was like, I can't keep up with the content delivery plus run a business. But we're making sure again that what we're always thinking about is how can we align our passion to profit the whole time, because that's when we have misalignment happen in business where we're too passion focused and we don't make enough money, or we're too profit focused and we're not actually creating enough impact. So finding that sweet spot, I think that's where magic truly happens in business.
I agree. So so we're going to go tomorrow. It's going to be at 12 noon. Jan's going to be teaching for 20 minutes or so. There will be some Q&A opportunities. And as always, we attempt at least 2 breakout sessions where people can get into small groups and then ask each other questions. Ooh, how could I apply this? Or I wonder about this. And then we come back to the group and we have some more Q&A. So that's kind of the format that we will be doing tomorrow. Thanks so much for coming on, Jen, to this live. Do you have any last minute words of wisdom?
I would just say that if you come tomorrow, make sure you bring your pen and your paper because I'm going to be dropping 2 strategies, kind of very fast, high step by step, but they're easy to implement and they actually result in money pretty quickly. So I'm looking forward to sharing.
Money. I love it.
Money.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thank you. Take care. Bye.